Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Code for episode 217 of On the Backs of Gods. I'm your DM, Jillian, and we have our players here today. Same as always, we have Kyle, Matt, Katie, Josh, and Greg. I'll go ahead and give you guys a quick little recap, and then we can jump back into things. Uh, Most recently, our characters were in Skull City. It is a city made of a skull, and this is where they had a conversation with their current new boss, I suppose. Um, Coworker, whatever you want to call him, associate, Sindri, also known as the Kiln. Uh, and he's basically like, listen, all of my employees are dead, quit, or mentally ill. And I'd love if somebody could fill in for like a minute so I can fix the mentally unwell one for like a minute or two. Give me a couple days to at least try something. Um, and you guys are like, you know what? Cool, we'll do it. So basically, your mission was that you were going to go to Svelga, which is just the town over, and go into the forest where you were just supposed to check in to see if there was damage to any of the lamps that were set up there. And these lamps are made to absorb corruption and sort of like remove it from the soil so that it can be used in different ways. Like in Skull City, it is used to basically power everything. It keeps the skull running, basically, making it one of the most like technologically advanced places on the continent. Um, so basically, it's like, hey, go check and see if something's wrong. If you can't fix it with the tools that we gave you, you probably can't fix it. Please tell us, and we'll send somebody else if we're able to. But also, just check to see if there are any signs of anything weird going on. If the area seems to have corruption in it, that's probably a bad sign, blah, blah, blah. Um, you guys fly over to Svelg, and after asking around town if there's been any issue with corruption lately, and they're like, nope, just like the normal amount of the recent bad spike of corruption that's happened. Um, you guys run into a child who was trying to tell slightly older children about something that he saw. You guys humor him, and he tells you about a big bloody bee man, just a man covered in blood, and it sounded like he was full of bees. This is the information he had for you. There's just a bloody man full of bees. And he's like, I don't know what to tell you. This is what I saw. And you guys say, thank you for this information. We'll keep an eye out for Big Bloody Bee Man. So you decide to go into the forest, more for work, but also with Big Bloody Bee Man on the mind, and go to check out these lamps. Encountering the first two that seem to be fine. You go to the area where a couple animal corpses are being held so that the corruption in the area can be monitored, and it seems that there's like is some corruption apparent on these corpses, but they are like in some of the highest levels of decay you've probably ever seen. So it's like this is the most decayed thing I've encountered, and a little bit of corruption. um, you end up, after walking around keeping an eye out for Big Bloody Bee Man, but you encounter the final lamp, which, from where you guys are standing currently, in the middle of this like just kind of serene little forest in winter, how fun. um, it sort of looks like it's like these spiky hedges or brambles, or like just twist of like brown foliage seems to be like pressed up against one of these lamps. um and you know what, Pip, that's where we are currently. Is you guys just, you're at like a distance where you're like, you have now seen this is the thing you have seen. You have no more details than that, but you can see that like something is like against the lamp. What you guys doing? You're probably like maybe like a little under 100 feet away. You can just kind of see it from a distance.
Can we hear bees?
Roll for bees.
I'll roll for bees. Thanks. I believe I do get Advantage on. Yes, I do. Advantage on perception. Whoop whoop. Ooh, wow. Okay. Better of the two. Hell yeah. 33.
You do not hear any bees. You don't know how close the child was to said big bloody bee man. He could have been just right next to him and been like, full of bees. But currently, you don't hear any bee sounds. You don't really hear much out of the ordinary.
I mean, if our extremely reliable source is to be believed, and if we were to assume the bees were swarming, I'd expect we'd be able to hear something of it at this range, but who knows? Maybe it was just a softer sound, and that was the closest thing he could think of to describe it. I'm not sure.
Hard to say if it's related or not.
It's
Yeah, from your-
big,
Keld
if
wants to
nothing
get
else.
a closer look at this thing.
Yeah, I'll join you. This kind of just looks like overgrown plants.
Yeah,
Right.
we'll have a look and see. Let's get up in there. Nana will follow suit.
Yeah, Fen was considering taking his kukri to this thing and just kind of hacking it down, but if everybody else gonna walk up there, Fen's just gonna stand by with his
Let's-
bow and like keep an eye out
I
for.
want to see where it's coming
stuff.
from. Like,
If it's a plant, I can just blight it, guys. It's fine. I'll kill it and we can get rid of it.
I'll kill it and we can go home.
says the druid.
You grew out of the wrong spot on the ground this day.
You
I
getting
can
pruned,
take
bud.
a snip of it and we can plant it somewhere else.
Exactly. You don't have to
Yeah.
be here. You can be somewhere different.
Yeah, you guys start walking over. The first thing that's like, interesting. I would say most of the things you perceive are interesting. That it
Okay.
is very symmetrical. Like, it lacks sort of that, how do I say, the beauty of just a bush where
The branch do grow where the branch wish to grow.
the beauty of
a
the bush. You all get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone
yeah.
here gets it. Hi guys,
Yeah.
thanks for being here tonight. We love telling you guys a story. We'll be here the same time, same place. Yeah.
It's fine.
So very, very symmetrical in shape. Round, verging on sort of like ovally. Large, it's like a circle that's like 10 feet across. And you can't see through it. These spikes that are protruding out of it. And as you make your way over and kind of are able to like move around a little bit, you see like a different, like a lighter tanner shade of brown on the other side. And you can see that it's moving a little bit. It looks like a huge hedgehog has fallen over on its side against this lamp and is stuck there.
Does it actually have like hedgehog-looking anatomy, or are we just talking like it's a big spiky thing?
You go and like
How
observe
huge are
it
we
fully.
talking?
It's 10 feet long. It's a hedgehog.
huge.
This is fully a hedgehog. You can see like the like gentle rise and fall of its stomach. It looks like starting to verge on a little emaciated.
Does
like
it
looks
look
kind of
corrupted
like
at all?
Okay.
No.
I'll tell you at the jump. No. It is just a big ol' hedgehog. And you can see that this area does have like a bit of a hill to it,
Uh-huh.
and it's just kind of stuck.
I must cast speak with animals.
Everyone casting speak with animals.
Nana,
immediately.
just. I wish I could do that.
You can use the staff to if you want to talk to it. I'll hand you the staff to talk to this.
She just wanted to feel included. It's fine.
You can use a charge.
So, Keld, you cast Speak with Animals.
Yeah. He's going to approach where what appears to be its head.
Yeah, its eyes are currently closed.
Hmm. I think he's gonna touch its snoot. Just a gentle. See if
The-
there's any reaction.
Is it dry?
There's kind of a delay, and then sort of the wiggle of a snoot as the eyes sort of start to open. It like the mouth looks a little dry as it opens, and like it doesn't look very well. But you just like it just begins to open its eyes. Hello?
Hello there, friend. Would you like some water?
Oh. Oh, that'd be really nice. And it's just like this I'd say little tongue, comparatively little tongue, but like in the grand scheme, pretty big tongue. Just kind of like labs out, and it
Mm.
looks like kind of like dry, has like a bit of like a pasty sort of look to it.
No.
Oh no.
Oh, honey.
I'm gonna pour water from my water skin into his mouth.
Yeah, he's kind of like awkwardly sort of like on his side, a little back a little, but like just like
Yeah.
a lot of just attempting to like get water into its
Mm.
mouth, and seems very appreciative for that.
Nana kind of
Mm.
like watching to one side, kind of like, does he need another water skin? Or
Everybody just
He
pouring
okay?
water into his
He's
mouth.
dehydrated. He's been stuck here we don't know how long. At least long enough to have inconvenienced this lamp thing,
My lamp is inconvenienced.
I guess.
I guess after he's had some water, Keld will ask, "How did you end up here? You don't look well."
Oh. Well, I was walking around, and I took a little tumble. And he like turns his head slightly. Ah. And like kind of like looks at just sort of this honestly
Oh,
not
yeah.
super intense incline. Like
Up that
not
hill.
not super intense.
Hmm.
I took a bit of a tumble, and I couldn't get back up.
Oh no, there was nobody to roll you over?
No, it's just me.
Oh.
Just you here. For how long?
Oh. I've seen a few sun and moons.
Me too. Maybe we can get you on your feet.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Do they
He's
seem
gonna
well
look
enough
back to the party.
Do they
Can
seem
you
well
guys
enough
help
to
me
get up?
roll him over?
Sure.
Of
Don't see why
course.
not. Yeah. I mean, we've got the heaviest gloves we're going to have in terms of our armor, I think. So that should be fine for handling a hedgehog. Probably.
How big are the spikes on this
Look.
hedgehog? Are they like spears?
Oh, the
Whoa.
spike could easily run you through.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, little prickly ones are not as big a concern in this case.
No, they are big. It is big sharp
Got it.
spikes.
Cool. Okay, easier to avoid
So-
then. Much easier. So we all just kind of like shuffle in. I feel like probably it's a matter of like we assemble a team carry kind of situation where we sort of distribute the people who are like bigger on one side and counterbalance with somebody like, you know, just trying to make sure we have an even distribution of strength so that we can gently roll this friendly off of the lamp. I would imagine probably the quills might be a little bit stuck. in maybe some of the lamps.
You'd be correct. That is something that as you
Stuff.
go around to like back to the spike side, it does look like one of the spikes is like embedded, and there's one that's like grazing the side.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna do this originally, but it struck me in the moment. This sounds like the perfect time for a skill challenge.
Ah, wow.
So I wouldn't say this is
Hmm.
the hardest thing in the world.
It does
Um,
not feel akin to like, something in the brushwood.
So you're gonna need 4 successes before 3 failures.
Okay.
The DC is going to depend on what you pick.
Okay.
Using abilities and spells and what have you may lower the DC. And if you use the same skill more than once, so if somebody picks athletics and then you pick athletics, the DC will be higher. So
Mhm.
who do what?
I have a first argument.
Make it.
Cool. I'm also going to change it to 5 successes before 3 failures because I want everyone to do something.
Hmm.
Your argument, sir?
So I want to try to use persuasion to basically go at this from a motivational point, I think.
Uh-huh.
So now that we've got this guy, he's got some water in him, he's got a little bit of, I don't know if it's energy, but maybe I'll go about this as Kel trying to persuade him to let us help him up, so that could maybe work to our benefit.
Okay. You go up and you're like, "Hey, man."
Hey man.
Let
Hey.
us help you help us help you.
Let's encourage him to get on his little feetsies. I'm still trying to picture how he's laying, but
So he's kind of like back against this pole, like all leggies sort of up at an angle.
okay.
So like one foot's sort of kind of touching the ground, but like the other 3 are like up.
Is his
So
head
he's
more like up or sideways?
mid. So he's not like in a sitting position, he's not in a laying
Okay.
position, he's in a like a
Yes.
middling position.
Yeah, okay. I see.
But he will do his best to help you help him help you help him.
Maybe we can get him to put his momentum forward so we can try to get that spike out of the thing. Just whatever encouragement Kel can give to sort of help this process.
Yeah, go ahead and give me persuasion DC 15.
Hmm. That'll be a 25.
Hell
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That'll be
He's
one
so good at
success.
team building exercise, guys.
He's like, you know what?
Come on,
This
team.
hedgehog enjoys living.
Yeah.
And Keld's
He
very
seems
motivational.
to want to live.
Yeah, he's not like, no, I did this on purpose.
He hasn't given up.
Yeah, no, he did not
I mean,
argue when we offered him
he-
help.
To be fair, he gave up. He was like, well,
He
know.
had given up, but then
I'm
people
a-
came along
I'm
and
a
said,
hedgehog.
"Do you want to live?" And he said, "Well, yes, I'd like to."
Oh, sure. He begins to like kick his little legs that are in the air, and he's like, you're trying to like kind of direct him to like when they push, you try to move your leg energy forward,
Yeah.
like do a little crunch if you can.
Yeah.
Invoke the
during all
core
of this-
muscles.
Yeah.
During all of this is also just a terrible metal scraping sound. So I'll just go ahead and say that that's
Don't
happening the
like
whole
that.
time. Terrible metal
Fine.
scraping sound. Okay, Keld, that's 1 success. We need 4 more successes before 3 failures. Who's next?
So before anybody gets ideas of putting hands on this thing, Fenn's gonna give the prayer bead necklace a little tittle, and Keld, Nyx, and himself are getting bless on them in case they need to make any spike-based saving throws.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Fenn's gonna investigate how many of the spikes are stuck within the grate, and if it looks like there's an easy or, you know, or mechanical way to get them out. If there's a way that we can just like, oh, we got to roll him 15 degrees to his left and they'll pop right out, or
Or
we're
we
gonna have
just
to
gotta
chop some of
jimmy
these
this
off.
a little bit like
Yeah.
yay so. Yeah.
Sure. Give me an investigation check, DC 16.
Well, I fail.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Uh,
Did
you're
you
like,
not bless yourself? No.
Uh,
you
it's
can't.
not for skill checks. It's
Mm.
just for saving throws and attack rolls.
Oh
So
yeah.
Yeah. Um,
yeah. So he got a 12. So I guess he
Mm.
didn't see nothing, but he didn't see anything helpful.
yeah, you can see that there are spikes like wedged into like this lamp. There's also probably some in the dirt, but you're like, I can't exactly figure out like a mechanism in this moment that would be super helpful. You're like, yeah, that sucks. The guys, I've assessed the situation. It's kind of bad. Uh,
Well, he's in there good.
he comes out from under a car. Up, well,
It's bad.
There's your problem.
they're stuck.
Maybe we use some pure strength tactics.
I mean, could I use medicine to see if I could, kind of surgically cut off needles that are
Mm.
going into places to make it easier to move him?
Sure.
Start
Um,
slashing at needles.
You can give
I
me a DC 16 medicine check.
That is a dirty 20.
Okay.
Surgical slashing.
Yeah. So you aim for spikes that are either it's like at a really bad angle. You're like the angle we'd have to push this guy at is kind of a no-go if this spike is here. This is mostly like the one that's pretty embedded inside of the lamp and a couple that are like stuck in the ground. They're really making it complicated. Fen was able to at least point out where everything was, and you're just like, what if they weren't here?
Let me get a haircut really quick, guys.
I
Just
see a
wait.
problem. I have a solution.
Yeah.
When all you
Starting
have
to
is a
get
sickle.
him unset. Yeah. Just a weird sawing motion with the sickle, like, okay.
No, okay.
Give me a second.
Okay. Maybe we come at it like scissor style between like a sword and the sickle, maybe. I don't know.
God.
Whatever we
we're-
gotta
we're-
do.
We're going at it.
All right, we going at it.
Works. You need 3 successes before 2 failures.
Can Nana perceive an optimal path to like an optimal angle for helping to extricate now that we've got some of the quills removed? Then it's a matter of like shifting which way to help kind of angle the hedgehog onto like away from this thing and towards getting them onto their feet.
Sure. The description is leaning investigation, so I'm just boosting the DC is the thing. So you can give me a perception check. It's going to be a DC 18.
Okay, I will take that. Okay. That is a dirty 20.
Okay. Yep, you're able to start sort of getting the idea of leverage. The idea
Okay.
of leverage has come into play.
Okay.
Now that spikes have been removed.
Yeah, now that we don't have grounding things in play, now it's a matter of like working against gravity, which was kind of already working against this poor little thing.
Mhm.
Little, I
Okay.
say.
You need
Baby's a
2
brick.
successes before 2 failures.
All right.
I think Roshan sees all of his friends taking good care of this big old hedgehog and is going to do his best to take good care of the lantern underneath. Could I roll Arcana to just give it a check to see, make sure it's not going to blow up if we pull this hedgehog off of it?
Sure. Because now we're talking about the lamp, the DC is going to boost just a wee bit. So give me an Arcana check, DC 20.
Okay. That's a 27.
Okay. You think currently there are definitely ways that this could go a lot worse. You're like, okay, I can see how we could blow everything up on accident. That's not out of the question currently. That does not seem like your current trajectory. You think removing the spike is going to be y'all's a big hurdle to kind of overcome later. But you're thinking as long as like more weight isn't applied to the lamp or like another spike goes in, you're probably not going to blow up. So you currently feel safe to be like, heave ho. Everyone, heave ho.
I've got. I can help give the final heave ho if somebody else wants to. I think we're at 3 successes.
You're at
I'll
4
do a big
successes.
heave ho.
Oh, we're at
Okay.
we're at
Yeah,
4 successes.
out of 5. Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right,
Uh,
Keld.
Athletics.
Yeah, give me athletics DC.
Big hedgehog.
It's a big hedgehog.
Hedgehoggy man.
DC 20.
Oh boy.
You got this, bud.
I'll
You
allow
got
people to like
this.
add things if they're able to, but not like no advantage. I'm not giving that.
Let me see.
I think Roshan will sit
Haste me.
against the hill and not haste you, but will say, "You got this, Keld," and give you a bardic inspiration. It is, I believe, a D10 now.
Wow.
Nice.
Cool.
I don't think I've got anything I can loan you in this case.
That's okay. You can help me avoid getting squished by this guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Later,
Before
when we're
we
all squished
heave.
by this guy.
I rolled a nat 1.
Ooh.
But let me add my dice just for the hell of it.
Yeah, tell me what it lands on though.
Okay.
Yeah.
16.
16. That's pretty good for a nat 1.
Yeah, it is. God.
It's yeah, it is definitely a moment of Roshan, you're just like, as long as like more weight isn't applied, it's probably chill.
And Keld
And-
goes to shift his foot back.
And the hedgehog's pushed forward and then comes back against the lamp a little bit. And you're like, so Roshan, you like brace for impact a little bit. You're like, okay. Kel,
Oh,
I think
God.
Roshan goes from "Yay, Keld" to "Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit." And can I cast Big B's hand?
Big bees.
Big B's hand.
Summon a hand that's as big as the hedgehog to help Keld pluck it and
Only counts if it's made of
pull it
bees.
Please help
away.
me.
so so we're at 1-1 currently. A success
Yeah.
and a failure is where we sit. You're doing what sounds like another Arcana check, so the DC will be higher.
Okay.
Okay. You
All
got
right.
it.
It could also be athletics because the hand has
Would you
I
like to do
believe-
athletics?
a strength score of like 26.
Up to you. Would you like to pick? Either way, the DC goes up from what it was originally.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm still better with Arcana, so
Yeah, it's fair.
Big
Now I
hand.
have to remember what I made the DC for the Arcana check.
It was 20.
I think it
Thank
was.
you.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I was like, it was either an 18 or a 20, but I couldn't land on it. We're going to say the DC is now a 22.
And that's a 13 plus 15, so 28.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, magic.
Woo!
I'm gonna half your damage, Keld, because a big hand shows up.
Hmm.
So go ahead and take 3 points of piercing damage. As like the spikes come back at you. You're like, oops. Roshan, could you tell us what Bigby's hand looks like?
Ouch.
Ooh.
And how it saves this hedgehog?
Yeah, I think so Roshan sitting on the side of the hill, just excited to see this happen. And then he says, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit," and then throws his hands out, and in a wave, just a big shadowy hand made of magic appears before him, and then rushes down, and then like just very gingerly touches the hedgehog and helps pull it free.
Okay.
Wow.
Nice.
And with a nice little thump, the hedgehog is now on 4 legs, which kind of give a bit, and it's just sort of like laying kind of flat on the ground. How long does Speak with Animals last? 10 minutes?
Let me remember.
I think 10. Is it 10?
Yeah.
10 minutes?
You can no longer speak with Hedgehog. This took at least an hour.
Woo-wee.
Going
We've been
based on that, we
working.
were sawing spikes off. This was like
Yeah.
at least an hour.
Yeah. That
Nana,
makes
can you
just
sense.
sort
give
of
him
like-
a berry or something?
I can't really
Used
do
to
that
have that pack
anymore.
of berries.
Yeah, I've got rations.
Me too.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no. Let me see. Nana rifles. I can definitely cure wounds. Now, which is something I could not do before. But I haven't been able to do a good berry for a while.
I think Keld will offer him a little bit of ration.
Yeah, it's the least we can do.
Not sure.
Are we familiar with what hedgehogs of a typical size are, or like is this a
Yes.
species that is
You are
foreign to us?
aware of
Okay.
a normal sized hedgehog.
All right.
But this
This
big
is
one.
not the norm.
Even big around here, goodness.
Fen will cast Speak with Animals, and
Nice.
you're much larger than any hedgehog. If that's what you are, you look a lot like one than I've ever seen. Typically, they
Oh.
eat little bugs. What do you eat?
I like bugs.
Are there
I like-
bugs suitable to be a meal for you out here, or do you just
Oh,
eat a
some-
whole bunch of little ones?
It sometimes takes a lot of time to get full, but I'm not so picky. And sometimes there's those furry bugs that run around with their little curly tails, and there's the ones with the feathers, and yeah, I'm not
Kyle's
picky when it comes to
subconsciously put his
bugs.
hand over Jen's pocket.
Mm.
Whatever bug happens to pop out when I'm wandering by.
All right.
But he's
Where
happy
were
to
you-
eat like these rations you guys are giving him. He's like, all right, shit.
Mm.
Right here,
We
bugs.
could,
All food is bugs.
Mm.
we could pour a gallon of honey in your mouth.
We could do that.
I don't know what that is, but is it bugs?
It's very sweet.
It's delicious.
Ah,
It's got
bugs,
nourishment. It
bugs.
will
Ah.
help you recover.
It's something bugs make.
That's true.
Nana, he looks at you kind of like, he's like, yeah. Somebody nods at you like they don't know what you're saying. He's like, yeah. Can't understand the rest of y'all.
That makes
But
sense.
will accept this honey. Seems pretty chill about being given food.
Yeah. Roshan, I think he'll gladly accept the honey. What's your name, by the way? I'm Fen. This is Nix, Keld, Roshan, Nana.
Oh, Hello. That's fun. I don't have a name. You called me a hedgehog, and that's like a new thing for me, also. So,
Well, at best estimation, we think that's what you are, not necessarily who you are. But I guess we could
uh,
spend some time together and decide who you are. We could figure that out.
uh, sure. Some deep introspection while I eat honey bug.
Honey bug.
Oh, so good.
Upon your
Sticky
tumble.
mouth.
Yum, yum. Gone full Pooh Bear.
Before we came across you, we came to check on these lamps here. They ostensibly stop bad things from happening. Um,
Oh.
it's our task to repair this one, I believe. But we did find a person, someone like us, that we spoke to, only smaller. He said that there had been a big, bloody man full of bees. Bees are small, stingy bugs.
Ooh, I know.
They're the ones that make the
I've
honey
heard of
bug.
bees. The chewy honey bug. Yes, let me see.
Are you familiar with anything like that in this area?
Uh, I I think I have heard bees. Yes, recently while I was here, I think I heard bees. I couldn't eat them though. I don't think I could see them either, but I think I heard bees.
All right. Well, we're trying to see if this thing was hostile, but I guess being as spiky as you are, probably not a lot is especially hostile to you.
Oh, no, everyone's very nice to me.
I'm glad to hear it. You seem the sort of chap who deserves people to be nice to him.
Ah, Chap. My name's Chap.
All right.
Chap the Hedgehog. I love it.
Hmm. I like Honeybug.
Mm.
Well, if you're still with us tomorrow, we might be able to provide you with an equal amount of honeybug as today,
Mm.
but the way the device works, it takes a while to refill.
Ah.
Where were you on your way to before you took your tumble?
Oh. Well, you see, I'm never really going anywhere. I'm just I'm just sort of walking and excited to see what I see. And sometimes it's a bug, sometimes it's a tree, sometimes it's like you, the big bugs, hard to eat. Um,
Oh, well, we're
Yeah.
not very tasty. I would
oh,
say that twice actually, a worm tried to eat us and it didn't
oh,
go well
a
for him. A
big
worm,
bug.
big worm, yes.
Ah,
Mm.
Same one.
I'm going to find a big worm, I think.
Well, I hope you do it when we're not around. We don't like them
Mm.
particularly over well.
And don't worry, I won't eat you. I can't.
Good to hear. Good to know. Very
Mm.
reassuring.
Just sticky honey mouth, like I can't. It's not a moral thing, but I can. Nothing about morals.
Mm,
Um,
mm.
yeah, this dude seems
Yeah.
chill. He sort of like
Cool.
starts to like get back up like on his feet a little bit, and
Mhm.
he seems really tired. So it's not like he's wandering off very far, but he does seem to
Right.
start like kind of getting up and like snoofing around and like laying back down and
Yeah.
just
Can Kel
existing in
take
the
a look at
space.
the lamp now that he's not on it?
Yeah, the
Wee.
lamp is how do you say it? Damaged.
Hmm.
Ooh. Oh.
It looks like one of the spikes, probably the biggest offender, sort of came in like, so if it's like here's the lamp, it sort of kind of grazed in to like a side, like it grazed in,
Oh.
not in the
Okay.
middle fully, but like on the side of the lamp. So it
Huh.
didn't hit like full center, but it hit to the side and like pierced into the
Mm.
metal.
So maybe
There's
It's a
hopefully it
strong
hasn't hit.
freaking quill.
It's
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
vitals,
there's
though.
yeah. There's also a couple smaller like spiked in
Gouges.
spots, but like there's like a really
Uh,
apparent one, which you're
uh,
like, hopefully it's lucky it's on the edge.
yeah.
And but there's a few spots where you can see like spikes made contact.
Mm.
Huh.
And where that one I'm talking about, like hit on the side, it's still there. You can fully see that spike there because that's one of the ones you cut off. It is just still like inside of it.
Do we need the schematics?
Should we remove it?
Yes. Fenn's going to
no.
remove the spikes and add them to his
No.
collection.
Wait!
No, don't.
All right.
Oh
touch
no!
it.
Hold on.
Take
Roshan just like
some.
holding onto it.
There are others I cut off. Take those.
We just want to make sure if we pull a quill, we're not, I don't know, releasing a gout of corruption out the side into the environment or whatever.
Yeah, I don't fully understand how these things work. So
I have no idea, but just.
I'm gonna be
if we
honest.
can-
I feel underqualified for this job.
Well, let's look at he gave us at least some basic schematics, right?
Yeah.
Somebody said it was like good enough to know what we could fix if we came across it here, right? So if we come across anything in the schematics that looks like it lines up with what got, then good, we take care of it. If not, then we call Sindri and we're
Yeah,
done.
yeah. Let's
So-
look at those.
Yeah, we'll roll them out and start looking.
All right, but if you salvage any quills, I want to make arrows of them.
That's perfectly
Mm.
fine. I'm certain. I doubt we'll need to break much more of the quills to get them out. I'd just like for us to know we're not, I don't know, dooming half the continent again by pulling one out haphazardly.
Who's leading this endeavor of lamp?
I feel like Roshan needs to.
We all
Yes,
look to
please,
Roshan.
Please.
Nyx takes a far step backwards.
Well,
Nana
Roshan,
also takes a step backwards. She has a -1 to Arcana.
Kelda's like
Roshan-
standing close but not touching.
I have thieves' tools. If you can guide me at some little bit of dexterous manipulation you need done, I'm happy to put my hands there to do it. And if they get blown off, then Nyx can grow them back again, as demonstrated previously.
Ideally, that won't be the outcome, but you know.
Oh,
that's-
you needn't tell me.
So long as we're all on the page at the same time, that's fine.
Okay.
So I think Roshan would approach this from a fix all of the small ones and not the main one first, and look at the plans and say that one's safe to just yank. Oh, this one's okay, and then just work his way toward the more complicated ones. Is the big one obviously the big one's the most complicated, but is it the only one that's going to be a real problem?
Let's find out. How about you give me an investigation check? I would say this is just a casual DC 17.
31.
Yeah. Honestly, there's like no reason to make you roll unless you're rolling like ones out there, you know?
Which I could be.
You could have destroyed the world with a 1 recently, so you
Fucking
know.
bards, man.
It'd be like that. Also, just a side note, a peek behind the DM's curtain. I told it slipped from my mouth that my notes for this section were exactly 2 words long. Those 2 words were big hedgehog, and I've just had big hedgehog written on my notes for like
Never
2
would have
weeks.
guessed.
It just says big hedgehog. It says the mission under it, big hedgehog. That's all it says.
It's all we
So-
need.
It just says big hedgehog.
I am grateful you had those 2 notes because
That's all we
That-
needed.
Chap is delightful.
Chap is the best.
You're just lucky
We all
he's not
stand
double the
Chap.
size because he probably could eat a person at that point. But not at this point. Um, But it just says the mission, big hedgehog. Anyways, Roshan, you start looking. Yeah, it looks like a lot of the like smaller injuries to the lamp, a lot of them didn't make it past like the metal, or like the metal like prevented it enough from piercing too deeply to cause a lot of damage. You can see that the larger spike is definitely internal. It has made its way through both sides of the lamp. Um, so you are able to, in this moment, take out one of your weird little screwdrivers and like start opening things up and like looking inside and comparing with your schematics.
Do any of the
And
screwdrivers do sonic damage? Never mind.
nope, these are just screwdrivers with funny little tips. Um,
Right, the star-shaped ones.
you open it up and see that the damage inside, you can see things that are like labeled on the schematics that seem to be very important. You're like, this is important. It has a fancy name. Also important, fancy name in the middle. I can put these two things together, that these things are important. And then just like a lot of wires and a lot of runes in there, just like a large flux of it. When you're inside of the lamp, you can actually like watch the energy build and go up and then fade and then go up and fade, sort of this like kind of ever changing bluish, purplish, magenta sort of shifting of color of these runes that goes up like it's inhaling and then it exhales. And you can see that it sputters. So it's not like fully broken, but you can see that it is like that, probably like little bits of corruption might be getting out, that the lamp isn't as effective as it could be is the problem. So the lamp isn't fully broken, which you're like, this seems good, and I like that. What seems to be the most damaged are like a lot of wires. There also seems to be some damage to some of the runes, but at this point, you think it's probably safe to take the spike out. Is it without any repercussions? Like if, you do it super terribly, could something go wrong? Yes, it's a big spike inside of a very fancy machine. But you're like, it seems straightforward enough that at this point, if I just hold a couple things to the side, we can pull the spike out at minimum.
Roshan will share that and say, since it has pierced the lantern all the way through, it's probably safest to continue pushing it in that direction so it doesn't. If you've ever pulled out a quill, it rips you up. So pushing it
Right.
through, if it's already pierced, is probably safer.
Hmm.
I will hold these things, and Roshan like puts a hand up inside the part of the lamp that you can't really see and says, I will hold things aside. Just go slowly. And like you said, Fen, if it blows up and I lose my arm, Nyx, maybe stand 10 feet away so you don't die.
That'd be most
Okay.
convenient.
I'll go stand next to Chap.
And Keldon, Fen, and I can do the pulling. Perhaps one person push at the back, the other two maybe kind of guide it from the front.
Does it look like this is a task better performed with like force, or does it look like this is something that needs to be done, delicately, like twist and kind of guide it through with some care and some finesse?
Shrug.
Whichever one you want.
Well, okay, another question. A couple sessions ago, we obtained some tongs. Are they like blacksmith tongs, or are they like tweezer
No.
tongs? Okay.
They're not gonna help. These tongs,
Ah.
they're for mushrooms. It's
Okay.
They're
not
mushroom
the most
tongs.
efficient, but good thinking. This guy did
Mm.
not make them with this in mind. Maybe go back to him later and be like, consider
Giant hedgehog quill
consider.
tongs.
He's like, why did I never consider this?
Hmm.
What?
Interesting.
Well, I've got some gloves. If I can get purchase on it from the opposite side, from on the tip there, I
Mhm.
can pull.
Mhm.
And Keld, if you
I
no one
can
has
push.
a mallet or anything to give a whack to it,
Um,
but
just the pommel of your sword might well do.
I could pull to kind of
Mhm.
guide, and Keld, if you could push it, give it a good push. I suppose we could do that.
And if I'll be better
Let's do it.
use on either end or helping with Roshan.
Hmm.
It might be hard,
Maybe
honestly, to get your arm in there with Roshan's arm, is the thing. You
Mm.
guys would have to probably like make out to do that, to be fair. You'd have to be like, hold on.
Hold on, hold on.
First of all, hot.
But also,
Make out
Second of
with
all, would the
me.
tongs be of
Elbows
use
deep in
in
the
this?
lamb.
Would the tongs be of use in this situation? Could Nana get in there and
Oh,
use the
God.
tongs to hold like wires out of the way or something?
I mean, I'll say it like
Mm.
Roshan has it
Mm.
pretty like
okay.
covered.
If
Okay.
Roshan's
It's just
got it
if you
on
guys
lock
do
there.
a terrible job, it doesn't matter what Roshan
Mm.
did in that moment.
All right.
But
Okay.
Roshan has it as out of the way as he can.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
here's
We just have
what's
to be
yeah.
mindful.
If
No,
this seems
perfect.
like
Perfect task for you. If it blows up, pull our steaming carcasses from the wreckage and get us to
Perfect.
safety.
I'll be on standby for corpse removal.
Um,
Oh boy.
I'm good at that.
Roshan will look at both Keld and Fen and say, I believe in you. You've got this. And give
Uh-huh.
you each a bardic inspiration.
Thanks, Rashawn.
Okay.
I feel better.
Your Bardic's a weirdo die now, isn't
10
it?
D10?
It is a D10.
All right.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
It's a vampire die.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you in the end, it's all probably gonna come down to a lot of strength. So I do want an athletics check from both of you.
Okay.
Actually,
Alright.
that seems incorrect to me. I just want strength,
What?
straight strength.
Straight strength.
This isn't athletics. This is just how big are
Strong.
your muscles?
Strong.
18.
Mm.
1 second.
Svelte.
Is that with your bardic?
Yes. Yeah. It would be
16.
considerably lower without a D10 added to it.
And what'd you get, Keld?
16.
Did you add your bardic?
16. Okay.
You did. I see.
I rolled better with athletics.
Oh. Yeah.
I know. That's sadly, I didn't consider this to be an athletic thing. After
Weird.
dwelling on it.
Hmm.
Just muscle. You guys start pushing this thing. Roshan, how about you give me
Hmm?
a dexterity saving throw? The body parts.
So I got an 18, but if Keld is near, is that +2?
It is.
So 20.
Okay. I won't say if that's exactly what you needed or not, but it could have been.
I am imagining Roshan feeling like a scrape along the back of his fingers, maybe scraping them bloody, but who knows?
Yeah. And you just like kind of apply more pressure and start leaning, and you're just a handful of wires, maybe a little bloody. It's probably because while you guys are attempting to move the spike, it probably splinters a little, is the issue.
Okay.
And so now you're dealing with multiple spikes. But you are able to eventually remove them. Roshan, how about yeah, Roshan, how about you take I want to do this. I'll change my mind. Okay. Go ahead and just take 2 points of damage as you get some little stabbies.
Slight
But you guys
splinters.
remove all of the pieces of this quill from the lamp.
Cool.
It looks like, Roshan, when you're able to take a chance to look at it, it looks like a lot of the runes are still intact. It's just that they're like no longer connected to each other in the right way, and that there are wires that probably need to be fixed or replaced. You know that there are some wires within your little tool set that you were given, because they're like, this seems like an easier thing if it's wire related. We hope it's wire related, and you got lucky. You do need to try to figure out how to kind of get everything sort of bent back into place, but the spikes seem to do a pretty clean cut. So basically, wires and the exterior need to be fixed. Those are
Okay.
the things you catch.
So yeah, I think Roshan, once that's out, will clear up any of the debris on the inside, stare at his fingers, which are now bloody, and do a healing spell so he doesn't have to mess up any runes with blood.
Yeah. Fair.
Finish cleaning everything out. His first goal will be the wires, and he'll probably have to ask for some help fixing the outer shell. But we'll go to work stripping some wires, touching whatever is on the inside of the wires to the right spot, and connecting the colors with the right colors.
Sure. Go ahead and give me now. See, I just don't think this wire problem is really Arcana. I think we're still dealing in an investigation place, I think, is where I'm leaning. So how about we do investigation DC 20?
I got a nat 1.
Ah,
Can can I help? Because Fenn's
Tragic.
like in there with the Steve's tools and shit.
are you guys making out?
Sure.
Why not?
With
Okay.
Roshan? Yeah.
Well, if you guys are making out, then yeah, you're close enough to help.
Yeah.
You guys would be like fully tit to tit to like be in there together. It helps that there's now just sort of like another window in, but like,
Yeah.
you know what? In this moment of kindness, and Chap is here, and I would hate to kill him
I would
and just
hate to kill
vaporize him in a
Chap.
moment. I will allow you
Doesn't
to roll
matter
with
about us.
advantage,
We care about
Roshan.
Chap.
No, I don't want I'm not killing Chap today unless this is also a 1, then I'll kill Chap.
So it wasn't. It was a nat 20.
Thank God.
The other end of the spectrum. There's a moment where it's just like, your hands start getting sweaty and a little shaky. You're at a terrible angle. Part of the metal is like sticking into your arm uncomfortably, and you're removing one of these wires, and it slips out of your hand, and you watch as it begins to veer towards one of the important, like, shiny, like, energy sources in there. And just with like a little grab of a tweezer, Fen catches it right before it stabs into this thing, which, Roshan, you're like, it may have killed all of us. If that may have killed all of us. You may not say that out loud, but Fen's like, oh, that's falling, and catches it right before it touches.
Right before it kills all of us.
Yeah, I think Roshan just very gingerly takes it from him and takes 15 seconds to center himself, and then looks around at everyone else and says, wider radius, like 50 to 100 feet. And then goes back to work.
I think we'd better listen to him.
I feel like Nix has been just stepping further
Yep,
back throughout
yep,
this time the
yeah.
whole time.
She's been not doing anything other than walking around at this point.
Just
Yeah.
wider
Dell
and
looks
wider
back to her like,
circles.
oh shit.
Oh, where'd she go?
Nix is like just fully 200 feet away. Like,
What happened?
You're doing a good job, bro. Seeing you deal with worse and worse circumstances. You can do this.
You're doing a good job, bro.
Some sweat rolls from Roshan's forehead and drops onto Fenn's face, and he says, thanks.
And from that point, you are able to, after some time, get the wires in what you think is a working order. There still seems to be some issue with the energy transference as it moves through the lamp, but the wires you think are done. All that's left is the exterior.
Um,
Where we
so we weren't. How much were we given for tools that could fix that?
Yeah.
You were
Exterior.
given things in like the hammer department, the ranch. You were given a whole ranch.
A bottle of
um,
ranch dressing.
one bottle of ranch dressing.
That's what really powers these things.
Yeah, it's just ranch
Hidden Valley
dressing.
ranch
It's all-
dressing. That's the secret.
You guys
Skull
barge
City
in
is
on his.
Minneapolis now. Just
You
canon.
barge in on Sindri's secret plan in action. It's just so much ranch. It's the Hidden Valley. It's terrible.
It's the Hidden Valley
Ugh.
conspiracy,
You
guys.
caught me. You found my secret out. uh, yeah, it's some things that are vaguely helpful. Um, you know,
So unless
Mm.
anyone's got any good ideas on how we can fix the metal casing,
Mhm.
I'd say we could put a band-aid on it if we had a big metal band-aid and then just tell Sindri to replace that. But
mean-
we weren't given a big metal band-aid.
We
I've
could just.
got a couple of ideas. First of all, maybe I've got a steel pail. Bought it for oysters. Been using it for mushrooms. If we can cleave that and bend it into shape, we might be able to pin it up where we need it.
We
Or
just need to heat it up.
Nix, have you got? Can you grow plants? Can you just
Huh?
encase it?
What?
Can you just encase it in plants and
What?
let them grow?
Hey,
Nix!
Nix!
You got any plants?
Plants.
She's got pants on.
Hands
Killed
on
off
the other
in
side, just their post on opposite ends. She's
Gestures
wearing
down.
pants.
No,
I can
we
see
weren't
it.
asking about pants.
I mean, we thought there was a big
Oh.
bush growing up around it, but if we actually
Mm.
put one that wasn't intrusive to it, might keep things away from it.
If you're wanting something like a plant spell, we would have to wait till the next day so that I can stock it.
Well, that sounds
I-
boring.
I could summon that big old hand again and have it gingerly press things into the right shape. But that's the only idea I've got.
Yeah, I mean, I could split this bucket in two with the kukri, and then we've got two hemi cylinders that we could place where they need to be, and if you could squeeze them into shape with that big hand that I didn't know you had, which was pretty impressive. Good job, by the way.
Would it
Thanks.
be
I've been practicing.
I noticed the size of your hand, and I'm impressed. Thanks, man.
I've been working on it.
I feel slightly intimidated, honestly.
My hands are just
What-
normal size.
I feel
That's a big
much
hand.
smaller, actually.
Would it be safe for us to heat these metal pieces and fasten them to the sides of the pole, or would we need some other means of affixing them?
I don't think we were given enough instruction on whether or not, but I think if we made a single strip of this bucket be able to like fasten around it like a band-aid, and at least keep the wind out.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
So yeah, I think Roshan will set to help Fen cutting this into a manageable shape, and then we'll use Big B's hand again to just kind of take it like a band-aid and gently wrap it all the way around.
Okay. Let the hand do some sort of strength, what have it.
Yeah.
Sure. So
What
that is a
happened?
14. 26 strength
Woohoo!
is plus 8. So 22.
Okay.
Hot diggity.
Um, it's it moves slowly so that you guys can kind of like finagle as you go and begin squeezing and pressing this thing back into place. There are points like where you have to sort of go in with like the hammer or something else to like kind of hit or bend things into a better spot so that they line up better in the end. Um, how are you affixing the band-aid, or are you just like squeezing it so hard that it's gonna like indent into it? What's the game plan for Big Baby
I
Nick?
think Roshan wants to squeeze it until it's not going anywhere, and then will I think summon just a little bit of lightning magic to just um, melt a little bit around the outside just to tack it in place, so it doesn't want to move.
Kind of like
And then
soldering it.
yeah, and then we'll take a piece of uh, like waxed canvas to keep the elements out even more, and just wrap that up real good. This is definitely temporary, but we couldn't have fixed it more.
Has anyone got any chewing gum?
Quick, everybody start chewing.
So I'll say for this final step in this alignment of runes, which would be the final step, Roshan, go ahead and give me an Arcana check, DC 20.
I rolled a 9, which is 24.
Yeah.
Freaking wizards, man.
It seems to be like if you like sit there and stare at it for a long time, there's the occasional stutter, but it seems to be like 99% functional compared to where it was.
And then I guess once that's done, Roshan would immediately reach out to his sister and say, I think it's at 99%. Should be good until you can get someone who can fine tune it. So schedule that.
That sounds good. Thank you.
Well,
Uh,
I'd pour one out for the steel bucket that's been sitting in my inventory since like session 50
Yeah.
or something.
It served its time well. God love it.
yeah, the sun slowly has begun towards setting during all of this. This has been a whole day endeavor. Um, as it
Okay.
starts getting a little dark in the forest. But you have the lamp as fixed as you can. You see that like Chap is just meandering about. It slowly has started getting further and further away, but technically you've done what you came to accomplish, and that is where we're going to take our break. Um, how about you all go get a snack and a drink, and we'll be back in 10 minutes.
Thank you, Ten.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 217 of On the Backs of Gods. We just got back from our break. Our party has found and I suppose befriended. I don't know what this hedgehog's capacity for friendship is yet, but like maybe you at least are saviors to this giant hedgehog who took a little tumble and ended up damaging probably a very expensive, very like if damaged the wrong way, catastrophic type of machinery. Lucky for Hedgehog and everyone else, it wasn't the worst. You guys took a while, but you ended up fixing it. Night has is like it's falling. You know, when the night she be falling, it happening. Because first off, a nice jaunt through the woods, and then going to each of the lamps, and then having to saw off the spikes of a hedgehog, and then pick it up, and then feeding it honey, which I'm gonna say took the longest amount of time, was the time you guys spent just hanging out with a hedgehog and then fixing a very expensive piece of machinery. The day it just flies by. What are you guys doing? It's nighttime.
I think Roshan has the lamp post open and is just triple checking everything while also making notes about it in his journal.
You're gonna need a light before too long. We're losing the sun.
I mean, it's mostly glowy in here, and I've always been pretty good at seeing in the dark. Sorry. Did you all want to go somewhere tonight? Home?
No, we can't go home yet.
Oh.
We're staying out here tonight with your mansion. But before you set up, I need you, if you can add rooms, could you add like an area for a campfire inside?
Sure.
I like that idea.
If that's possible, and well, I'm certain that the mansion will be glad to provide in temporary for Rex, but if you wind up with a bit more time later on, so long as Rex is traveling with us, I'd like for us to be able to put him up comfortably as well.
Hey, Roshan, I think you're doing a good job, buddy.
No, honestly, thank you, and thank you for doing all this with the lamp. I mean, I'm sure the lot of us would be rather out of our depth.
Well, I'm glad that you kept me safe. And I think Roshan will set up the entrance to the mansion right in the area of the lamppost.
Yeah.
And the first thing he does before going back outside to investigate the lamp some more is he asks one of the servants to keep an ear at the door, and if they hear a buzzing sound, to alert everyone.
Okay. There is a misty figure set up at the door, waiting.
And then Nana down the hallway with your and Fen's rooms, you'll find another door just marked Rex on the same side of the hall as yours. And the main foyer has changed. I think Keld is the only one who got to see it when he visited Galunder, but it is a bigger, wider open space now, and it's got a small stone platform that contains a bonfire, but then there is also another door by Keld and Nyx's house door that just says bonfire on it.
Wow.
Just says bonfire. The room is bonfire room. Roshan's like, it was on the
This
spot.
is
What do you guys want from
bonfire
me?
room.
Is it just fire in there?
Fire lives here now.
There's no good place to sit. The smoke is always blowing in your face somehow.
Oh no. Yikes.
It is that room is a small pine clearing with a bonfire set to about 3 feet high, and there's no wind, so the smoke will just travel up. But
Little
it's
chimneys.
a more intimate space than the other room with a bonfire.
This
Okay.
is lovely. He always thinks of everything.
Honestly, the
This
attention to
was Nick's idea.
detail.
I thought of this one.
That's brilliant. It's very good, and the
Yeah,
execution is
but the lack of
brilliant.
wind, though, that's a nice detail.
Yeah, I didn't think of that, Nix. You didn't think of the lack of
Mm.
wind.
I'm sorry, I'm not the one building it.
Also, Roshan, I'd like to circle back to something real quick because I decided I was going to let it go, and then I'm like, no, I'd actually like to talk about it.
Hmm.
Could an entity that is inside of the mansion hear something outside of the mansion?
I think yes, if the door is cracked.
Okay, thank you. I was just like, I'm like, I was doing little maths, and I'm like, I feel like you can't hear either way. But if the door's staying open, yes, okay, I accept that answer. Thank you.
Sweet.
It was just a wee crack, just enough to hear. Is there bees?
Be there, bees.
Bees. You guys have the mansion. Roshan's, I'm guessing, currently outside finishing up, trying to just get details on this thing. Just roll me an Arcana check real quick, Roshan.
31.
31. Okay. This is probably one of the most, if not the most, complex thing you've ever looked at. It's almost like it's more than the runes, right? Like almost like the runes don't exactly matter as much. Like, yes, they have some importance. Yes, they do something, but there is something past the runes that makes this like the wonder that it is. And because you don't have, I'd say, better schematics, you don't exactly know what that is. You're like, there is something wild happening here. Like, there is something crazy going on. But what you do notice is
And
there are.
one thing,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
he was planning on using it earlier if he didn't need to check on the lamp in that way, but he was planning on using True Sight to uh, use it the first time. The slashes on his neck, the tattoos that he got, open up into like little glowing teal eyes, and his eyes mimic that, and he can see some ridiculous length out into the one of the planes, and understand or can see the magic as it flows.
What
Ethereal.
you see in the first place is just like the overlapping of items. Like there is something overlapping each and every tree. Um, the only thing not overlapped in this area is the lamp. The lamp is not overlapped in this other plane. You can see that the trees are overlapped, but they are not exactly the same trees. And it is just like it's sort of like watching like spores move through the air constantly. Just like little wisps and like twists of energy moving around you. Nothing stands out too much in the sense of looking at the lamp. Um, as you can only assume either it is not like leaning over into other planes in any way. Um, you see occasional little like flicks around it, and now because you're like your vision's up, you're just like, is this in the ethereal plane or is this is this real life. So you'd have to wait for it to go down to double check, but you're like, there's not a huge overlap between this and other realms. This seems very grounded in Midgard. But while you are scanning, and it just sort of makes everything just sort of have this beautiful shimmer to it while you have this vision up. What you do notice is there are some similarities to the ritual that you did in Galunder. That there are similar aspects to what Ave instructed you to do. And that makes sense. That ritual and these lamps sort of had a similar goal in mind, in your opinion, is that your ritual was supposed to repel corruption, and this absorbs it. So there's a similarity at the base level, but they go in opposite directions. So it seems almost just like the baseline understanding in magic seems to like line up. Like you could go at a crossroads for that line of thinking.
I think he will spend the full hour of true seeing, just making notes, making sure that he hasn't overlooked a hidden rune here or there, just to make sure his knowledge is complete, or as complete as the schematics, and seeing the physical contraption will, and then he'll join the others inside the mansion.
Okay. What are we doing tonight, boys? Are we hanging out? Are we going in turning in early?
As soon as Roshan left, I started offering up. So I've got, when, before we left home, I got some mushrooms that they are my grandmother's favorite. And we have not been bonding very much as a team. And I think that we should have kind of like the dancing with the drug tea before, but with the mushrooms instead. So if anyone wants to join in the new bonfire room,
Well, it is the new bonfire room.
it's new.
It's new. It is entirely enclosed, which means there's no chance of wild animals happening upon it, which is about the safest opportunity you're gonna have to
Might
dance
as well
around a
break it
bonfire
in.
while you're in drugs. So,
I'll be
honestly,
waiting for Roshan.
I feel like perhaps
Okay.
we could wait for him to join us, but I'm on board. Honestly, I feel as though this is going to be the most prudent way I can participate in that, and I feel like Snotra's been trying to send me some messages. I'm trying to be a little bit more prudent, so that seems like a good idea.
Okay, we could have some snacks or something while we wait for him.
Hmm.
I'll yell out the door to Roshan that we're waiting for him.
Makes the hour unbearable, Roshan.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, good.
Join us in the bonfire room.
I wish
We'll
you'd
start
said this
toasting
2 minutes
marshmallows.
ago when I hadn't casted my hour-long spell.
Well, damn it.
And so all of you wait an hour.
It's cool. We'll start like
and-
queuing
We'll
up
hang
the
out.
s'mores conveyor belt. We'll just have some people on each station.
Yeah,
It'll
is
be
there a
very
s'mores
efficient.
conveyor belt in the room, Roshan?
It's the mist, just they stand in a little line and just hand things out as best they can.
Brilliant. Yes, good.
They're like, we'll
Yes.
try to be a little conveyor belt.
That's
You've
fine.
explained the concept to me, and I will do my best.
So long as each person does their own thing, that's all you need. You've got your crackers, you've got your sweets, you've got your fluffy thing, and you're good to go.
All right. Yeah, Roshan eventually comes back inside about an hour later, almost exactly.
I will be right by the door and I will inform him of the plan and lead him into the bonfire room.
Yay!
So you all took mushrooms and I didn't get any?
No,
Oh,
we
no,
waited for you.
Wait.
We have
for
not
you.
yet begun.
Oh,
We prepared some s'mores, so we're all ready to go.
great. Well, let's get this party started. Let's hope Bloody Bee Man doesn't come in the middle of our trip.
Oh, we'll be
You're
in
open
You know
ass
this
door
is
to your
when
house.
Bloody B-Man's gonna show up.
I don't know. We can shut the door while this is happening.
Right?
Yeah, Roshan
mean-
will just go shut the door.
This seems
Watch
entirely
the-
responsible.
I could have Rex stand watch.
You don't want to let Rex
well,
participate?
if Rex wants to, I've Rex.
We've
I've,
got unseen servants that can be trip minders. We're
That's true.
fine.
all right.
Rex
If-
can bond with us.
This
if-
is team bonding time, Nana. He's part of the team.
I will
He is
hardly.
part of the team now.
I will hardly disagree with you on that point.
Come on, Rex. All your friends are doing it.
I don't
Only
know
if you
want.
if you're comfortable.
Well, if everyone's doing it.
I figured this is the safest possible way to do it. Like I said, no wild animals or chance of exposure to the elements, so good an opportunity as any.
Sure.
Pass the mushrooms.
I'm passing out.
They're not going to taste good. They're not going to taste good, but that's all right. That's not the point.
That's what the s'mores are for.
Yeah, Fenn's
Exactly.
finding his in a s'more. It just
Yeah,
shoves up a marshmallow.
just like
In the
toss
s'mores,
his
guys.
mushroom into
Yeah.
a s'more.
It's gonna make you roll to see how bad the mushroom tasted, but I'm like, oh, it's in the s'more.
I'll still
Irrelevant.
roll.
You
I'll still
know,
roll.
Yeah,
that's
roll me a
probably
D100,
smart.
please.
Oh.
Is that all of us?
Each of
or-
us or
No,
collectively?
all the
Okay.
mushrooms will taste the same. Nix
Okay.
is rolling for me.
17.
Oh, it's
Hmm?
bad. The mushroom is gross.
Yeah.
The
Mm.
s'more only does
Nix,
so
where
much.
did you get this?
Oh, there's like this floorboard that you can pry up in her living room, and they grow in that little hollow.
Oh.
Well, at least
Uh-huh.
they're fresh. I'm not sure if that's better.
Thought I tasted foot.
I think that might be a little kind. I think it might be.
Nix,
Hmm?
I'm gonna level with you. These are bad. I don't like them. They taste bad.
I don't know why you guys keep thinking I'm gonna feed you things that taste good.
I fully expected this
Because
not
we've
to
met your
taste good. I
brother and we
said it
thought
in the
that
first
maybe
place.
just a little bit of that would be.
I've made people throw up with tea.
That's true. I was one of them.
That's true.
At
Just
about the
saying.
25-minute mark. Um, that's when you start sort of
Wow.
getting like the relaxed shoulders, and you can feel just sort of like a sense of being soothed. And I suppose the internal connection with nature, even though the nature you are experiencing is fake, and you can dwell on that as long as you want to. That this grass, is it real? Not like
And the
really,
mushrooms
but
tell
it
me it's fake, I'll
is.
believe it.
The mushrooms are like, dude, I don't know.
Maybe this
See, they
is
don't
an
know.
expression of the nature that you
Could be real.
see.
I use
Roshan's
druid
like,
craft
yes,
and start making
it's-
real flowers.
This could
It's
be the
fine.
Watch
mushrooms
this
talking
shit.
to us,
It's
guys.
fine.
But
And it's just fixated by his and everybody else's new tattoos. They're just,
Mm.
you know, not only are they new,
Yeah.
they're crawling.
Yeah.
yeah, there's
Oh my
definitely
God.
like a little bit of a hallucinogenic effect from the mushrooms.
I think Kel
like,
puts an ear to the
mhm.
ground.
What's
Just
he
listening.
listening for?
Whatever the mycelium want to say.
Whatever the mycelium want to say.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hey, when Keld presses his ear to the earth,
Hmm.
do you think in this moment he is listening for the familiar ground of home or the brushwood?
Hmm.
Ooh.
I feel like he would be expecting the familiar ground of home, but I don't know what he'll hear.
I'm requesting an answer. So if he's like, I am seeking that connection with home, or even if it's like the intrusive thought wins, the brushwood is in my mind. But I'd love to
Hmm.
know which one Keld would, what would be stronger pulling Keld in this moment when it's a connection
This
with
moment,
nature?
it would be home.
Okay. It sounds busy beneath the earth, right? Like the movement of, it's not like millions or thousands, but just the movement of many. And the word many keeps coming to mind. Just the concept that there are many beneath the earth and they have come together there in this little community in the soil. And there is a peace to it in the low rumble of a heartbeat. Keld's just like face down in the dirt right now.
It's beautiful.
Listening to a heartbeat.
So,
Guys, she's awake. She's alive.
Honestly, he's probably very soothed right now. So
Aw.
Mhm.
you guys are like,
Aw.
anything while you guys are just tripping balls, or is this just a we're having a good time kind of thing? Or what's up? What's up, guys? I'm your handler today. While all of you are so high.
Nix, the ground has a heartbeat.
That's because I'm dancing.
Nix is butt ass naked and dancing around the fire.
This is she said what she was gonna do.
That is
That's true.
correct. That's very true. I think like Nana's like, right. That was exactly what we did the last time. I need to be doing that. Like she just like does exactly what Nix did.
You're right.
It's all off. You know, that's exactly correct. It's I need to be dancing.
Let
And
me know if any of the tattoos look infected.
Mm.
I'll try as she's dancing and as Nix is dancing and as the fire yeah, that'll definitely.
Yeah, you guys are dancing around the fire. Roshan, any vibes for mushroom time?
I think Roshan joins in and is there for one dance at the peak of everyone's excitement about this trip, and then is naked, fully naked, does one dance, and then will slip out of the bonfire room and put his hand on the memory chamber door. And I think one of the unseen servants that runs the place just hands him like a silky black robe to cover up. And while he's still his pupils are still big, he's gonna go into the memory room and look at the fractal, colorful, prismatic visions of Gulveg one more time.
Okay. Fen, are you enjoying the party?
I think Fen is also naked, but he's just sitting there tracing the Scotty tattoo on his arm with his finger over and over again.
Mm.
And like maybe muttering something about this nature's not real. This nature's not real.
Shut up.
Touching the grass, if the grass is real, picking up leaves, watching them fall. It's not real. They look trying to get Keld's attention, but Keld is distracted. Rex, have you seen the nature in here is not the real nature. See, Scotty's telling me this is different. It's outside. This is good.
Uh-huh.
Not as good as it could be.
Right. Huh?
It just the thought was there and gone, and just picking up
They
more
made-
leaves.
They just cycle back to it occasionally. They're like, what? And then it's gone again.
Oh, right.
It's
Yeah,
like,
no.
nope.
Hmm.
I do have to assume you guys sort of have to dance over Keld. Because I'm sure Keld is just right next to the bonfire and fully prone. So you kind of do have to
We
tiptoe
do these
over him.
elegant little leaps. over Keld. It's part of the dance.
There is a moment where I think, in this place that you've created, Roshan, that two rooms meet. The room you're in and the bonfire room. This is a place of your creation. I'm sure there are places that leak through and into each other. Energy, magic, certainly magic. Roshan, you stare at the tether, the new flame, the fractal pieces, the once Golveg. Nana, as you dance around the fire, whether these things are connected, maybe Roshan pulls this energy into existence and the rooms bleed into each other. Or perhaps it is just your trip and your trip alone. You watch as the sparks of the bonfire flit upwards and away like little stars in the sky. And something in the fire catches your attention. A shadow. And you focus on it. It's the statue of Golveg, fully wreathed in flame, her face a mix of anguish and yet that unwavering determination, stabbed thrice, wreathed in fire. And you watch as the stone of the statue begins to crack as a beautiful, brilliant light begins to emanate from inside of the statue, from the stone. And you watch as a beautiful entity of golden light steps out in its place, hair billowing upwards like wisps of smoke. This is Golveg, standing in the fire, wreathed in it. This is Golveg the diplomat. This is Golveg the resilient, the mother of magic, the power behind a piece of gold. And the idea of her plays out before you in the fire. All of this a play of shadow and twisting light. It's the story of Golveg. How Golveg enters Odin's hall, the home of her enemy, to speak of peace. And whether it is because they feared her or they found no reason to heed her, they attempted to strike her down. She was pierced with spears, and then the fire consumed what is left. And yet, springing back up this beautiful, brilliant light, she once again arrives in Odin's hall, over and over, failing to sway the people, her peers, with her words. Each day she would return, ever vigilant. Whether it was through her own convictions or perseverance or adaptability, peace was possible. And you watch the fire shift before you. It looks like a dark pit growing in the stomach of the entity of Golveg. And you watch, building up from it, it begins to crack and consume. A shape that mirrors your own, standing in front of this brilliant light that was Golveg. A dark, roiling fire claws out and puts itself in front of this glowing golden light, like a caged animal breaking out of a trap. The flame, born of Golveg, but never her. Not just her physically, but not her mind either. They were never the same person. Golveg's glow is hidden behind her billowing smoke. The flame is consumed by hatred that eats away at everything around her, and you're left with a why as you watch this fire grow. Was it to avenge Golveg, a god who made her choice to give her strength away? Was it to find her place in the world? Was it for power? What fueled her? It's because she felt like nothing, standing in the brilliant shadow of her predecessor. All she had left was vengeance and self-loathing, fueling her, pushing her forward, too obstinate to be swayed from her perceived purpose. She'd rather bring herself to cinders than adapt, and you watch as that glowing, beautiful light behind this dark smoke and fire dims ever darker. Even when she was offered peace by her only allies, she burned her bridges and died screaming and alone. And you watch as smoky black arms tear their way up the fire and pull this shadow into the darkness, into nothing. Golveg was a tireless seeker of peace, and the new flame will never know peace. What stands before you, the only thing left, is your shadow burning in the pyre. And it's like the world starts coming back as somebody dances past you, and Keld is still on the ground, and Fen has found a handful of leaves and has let them flutter by. Uh, Is there anything you guys would like to do? I'm sure your high will come down eventually. I'm sure eventually you guys won't be absolutely fucked up.
6 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
I feel like Nana needs like a hot second just in a fetal position just to process all of this.
Join me
but
on the ground.
Yeah, Nana will
Welcome
join.
to the floor.
Yeah, welcome to the floor, population, Nana and Keld.
Mm.
We are here and flat. We're just letting the world slow down.
Fenn's gonna put like leaves around them in like a chalk outline, but the leaves, just around where Nana and
Yeah.
in Keld lay.
Yes.
Like, just unconcerned about why they're laying there, what they're doing.
Yeah,
This is just his little art project.
If anything else comes of the night, that's up to you. Probably give it a couple hours and you could at least maybe be a person again.
Yeah.
You're still messed up, but you might at least be
Mhm.
able to vaguely
Yeah,
person
yeah.
with kind of just like a bit of the hallucinatory effect still in play.
I think Fen will start to snap out of it the minute somebody asks him to please put on his small clothes if he's going to be bending over putting leaves on the ground. Like,
Yeah, it's just
Yeah. I don't think that happens for a while. I feel like for at least an hour, there's like a bit there where Nana is just like sobbing inconsolably about how Ave was her Golveg and nobody can figure out what she's saying. She's just like, she's had a very profound revelation and cannot in any way, shape, or form convey it at this point.
And I just see
I
Fen
think
walking by and
Keld-
he's like, yeah, puts a leaf down. Yeah. Yes, Keld?
Currency. I think Kel might doze off to the sound of the Earth's heartbeat, but when he comes to, I think he'll be sort of like looking at his hag hand, and his mind might wander to the brushwood. This is before he returns to sobriety.
I'll return to sobriety later.
Sobriety can check in later. First, we want to hallucinate.
You wake up
First,
and you stare at your hand. It's not like anybody could tell, really, right? Just looking at it. It looks like your other hand. All of that. The first word that comes to mind is ugliness, but that's not right. Maybe some people would use that word. when it comes to the brushwood, when it comes to this gift you've been given, when it comes to the lurk. And you can see the vines slowly consuming your arm, making their way out through the skin, fully encompassing it. And it burrows into the earth. You watch as your hand grows like vines and sinks in like you are a tree beginning to sprout and grow from it. This is a seed from which you are born. You're born from the earth, from the brushwood. And that heartbeat intensifies, thumping in your ears louder and louder as it feels like the grass is growing up around you and touching at your face gently. But it just feels like it is slowly pulling you deeper and deeper into the soil, into this embrace. You know, at the end, you'll become this beautiful tree, something strong and majestic, but you must be consumed first. I think your trip turns bad immediately.
Yeah.
I think your
It
trip
got
fully has
bad.
taken a turn and it gets bad.
I
And
mean,
Kel's like, I'm
we
gonna go get a
touched on
glass
the
of water.
brushwood. Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Gonna
get a
go
glass
That
of
is not the
water.
grass we needed to touch.
Oh, guys, I'm gonna
I
tap out and go
touched
get
too
some
much
water.
grass.
I touched the
Does-
wrong grass,
does
guys. The bad
Fen-
grass.
Does Fen notice Keld's suffering? With a
I
passive
don't-
insight of 12.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know if
Okay.
anybody notices anything about anyone in this moment.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Mm.
feel like we're all a little bit inside ourselves. I feel like Nana maybe like
Yeah.
half hears him say, "I'm gonna get some water," and she's just like, "The
Good,
ashes."
that's smart. You should get water. That's smart. Good job, Kel.
You should get water.
Mm.
But is there anything else of note before you guys are like, we should actually probably like get some water and maybe eat like
Yeah.
a piece of bread and like maybe
Yeah.
go to bed? Unclear.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe eventually, yeah, we're all just like, okay, we have communed.
We've communed with the earth. Thank you.
Well, I
Nix will make a
get-
nice moss pit and sleep near the
Yeah.
fire.
Hell
A moss
yeah.
pit?
Sure, it
Moss
can be a
pit.
moss pit.
Or a mosh pit. Either one. Could
Yeah.
be a mosh pit made of moss.
Yeah.
Roshan
Mhm.
tells the shadow, let's check in on Nana tomorrow morning. I think now would be a good time to chat with her about all of the things you've learned.
Hopefully I can be of some assistance. I'm not sure exactly what I can give, but I'll try.
I think what was needed was a door to be opened, and I think the whatever Nyx gave us helped open that door.
Roshan listening to just loud weeping echoing through the place. I think it's working.
I feel like maybe we've had a slight progression. A
Maybe
minor
a breakthrough.
Yeah, the shadow is going to do their best, or the keeper. Hard name switch. I need to write it down more. All right. You all eventually find some place to sleep. None of my business. Where
We're
you
all
end up.
inside the mansion. We are safe from the actual elements that would do us harm.
It's so tempting to be like, somebody roll to see if you actually do not end up in the mansion. But I think that there's just enough people in here. And also, I think that guy by the door would be like, you know, I know I was told to just look for bees, but also this person's naked and wandered outside. Maybe I'll tell somebody. I would give it enough sentience to do that. So if anybody did, it would go like, hey, Roshan, sorry to bother you. They're just ash cheeks out outside. So
They're just,
if
you
that
know,
did
full frontal
happen,
out there.
we don't talk about it.
No.
But you all eventually lay down and are able to get some sleep, and you all get a long rest. Not like you had to use too many resources to help your little friend chap, but you know, a good night's rest is always a good thing. You wake up the next morning, um, little hungover, but you know, could be worse. You have been more hungover in your lives.
This doesn't really top out the top 10 that I can recall.
Where
Actually,
did Nana fall asleep?
I feel like Nana probably, like, unless Nyx wound up waking up and moving, I feel like Nana passed out dead ass in the bonfire room. Probably
You can
just
join
like,
me in the moss pit.
yeah, I'm in the moss pit.
Uh, well, Roshan will bring like a full English breakfast first to Nana's room. Seeing her not there, we'll then probably check the bonfire to see if
Mm.
they made any progress, and we'll find her there.
Yeah, it's just whoever's in there just is like naked and sleeping on the grass.
Yeah, a little bit. I feel like it's a situation where, like, the middle of the night, somebody's leg, like, flopped over the other person's arm, and, like, it's nonsense.
A bit of a tangle.
Bit.
Fen, being a person who meditates rather than sleeps, I think he has not redressed himself, but he has fashioned his cloak into somewhat of a toga and taken his meditation. He is remotely decent compared to other people.
Yes. Yeah, that's accurate.
You mean
Yeah,
there's not a
Roshan?
leaf placed perfectly on other people?
Everybody is
Oh, there's-
perfectly outlined by leaves.
Well, there are leaf outlines of where people have laid before, but like
Mhm.
none of Fen. Like who's making a leaf outline of him? But
Nobody.
You
Who
got
would
like
do
your
that?
legs. You're able to like do your legs, but you're like, I can't get
Who's
the rest.
gonna outline? I can only kind of get one arm. Then I have to
Kel,
lift
where
it
do you
up.
end up? Seems everybody else stayed in the bonfire room. Where do you end up?
I think Kel probably went back to his room in
Yeah.
the room.
You're like, I'm actually done touching dirt right now.
Yeah.
I
No
need
more
a little
grass
bit
I
of
sport.
need the comfort of my bed right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody else is in the room when you enter, Roshan, in various states of starting to kind of wake up.
Roshan didn't expect to find 3 people here, so we'll just tell the mist a couple more plates of this, and then we'll go over gently to Nana and say, "Good morning. Do you want to chat with the keeper?"
Oh, right. You know, yeah, Actually, that'd be great. I am. I'm not. Let me get on some clothes first, will you? I don't.
Well, the easiest place that I have set up to chat with the keeper is the baths. So if we could just, you don't need to put. It sounds weird saying you don't need to put your clothes on, but if you're just going to take them off,
You know, not much point then. Anyhow, that sounds fine. Right. I'll join you there then. That sounds lovely.
Roshan will guide her across the new courtyard over to the willow trees, do the silly figure 8 around them to appear the door which leads down under the closer one into the like a large Roman bath, and Roshan will slip in at one side of the pool and with A wave of the arm will increase the water flow until it is too loud to comfortably talk over, and hopes the shadow does the rest. But we'll be here just in case.
Guess Nana will climb into the pool after Roshan, and unless given specific direction on where to stand, she'll just sort of hang out in the vicinity and wait.
Is Nana getting in? I couldn't tell from.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Roshan, would you at least be willing to throw me a nice detect thoughts at this?
Oh
Just
yeah,
to kind of
absolutely.
put it into the ether of the space.
I forget that not everyone has a psychic connection to
Yeah.
their almost dad, you know?
Yeah. Weird that.
Yeah. So it just sort of like, because once again, this is a magical place of your creation, it's sort of like you just kind of put it into the space. Like you give that energy into the baths. In the roaring sound of water, you're aware of Roshan. Roshan is in this space, and you become increasingly aware of a second entity. Something like that seems to move in your direction. You can feel it, almost sense it now. And it just sort of takes a spot next to you, something not exactly visible. Occasionally, the way the steam hits it, it'll swirl, and you can see like the outline of a face or a shoulder, but nothing concrete in this moment. Just sits quietly next to you. I believe Roshan already informed you, but um, I have chosen the name the Keeper, if that suits you in this conversation.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes, that's fine for me.
um, the voice seems so close and pristine through like this, like the loud roar of water. It does not seem dampened in this moment, as if you're almost in a like a completely silent space and they are talking. I am sure Roshan has already informed you, but I will re-elaborate with my own words. Um, I am similar in a way to the new flame, in the sense that I am a shade of something, that I am a keeper of memories, and the memories I have the largest bounty of are Ave's. I am not Ave. Occasionally, I feel maybe his input, maybe his emotions on something. I do not know if that is him influencing me in some way, his memories, his thoughts. But as the new flame was not Golveg, I am not Ave. But I have quite the collection of what was his. They are not exactly easy to access pointedly, but I am willing to try my best.
All right. I I want to thank you for being willing to speak with me. I I don't suppose you know. Was there Do you know why he wanted me on the mountain? Do you know why he wanted me to watch him die?
When I go into this library, it's how I refer to it, I think most succinctly, is that these memories are books in a library. Um, there are many books of many names I recognize from my experience of being myself. There are many books, many memories with your name on the cover. I was there for your birth. I could see that. That Ave stood with your mother when your father could not. He was one of the first people to hold you. And the feelings that he feels are love, a need to protect, I suppose. I think, though, when I read these pages, he did feel more like a father in the sense of not just for you, but for many. But there was an intense love that is truly hard to misinterpret when I read them. And when Ave began his works, there was a sorrow, I think, because he could not split himself as he once had, that he could not put in the effort of a brother or a father or a chief even to the fullest extent. There was a sorrow in not seeing you at family dinners or playing out in the streets, climbing trees. You were doing that in the forests. You were a ranger. And I think there was pride in it. But also there was something in him that was worried that he was pushing you away. But he watched you come into a beautiful strength of your own, which he took great pride in. The mountain. I think if he could have found a way in his mind that he could have done this alone, or at least spared the hurt, the being there on the mountain with him, he would have. You were on the mountain because he saw you as an amazing friend and caretaker. He saw you as support and love and a perseverance, I believe. He thought that you needed to be there because of your strength. Because when everyone else would begin to topple, you would hold them aloft. He didn't want them to be alone. He sees the cruelty in it, but your support and strength was something that he viewed as invaluable on the mountain. I am not sure if that helps you in any way, but those were his thoughts on the choice.
It does. It helps. Dispels a lot of foolish worries. I've been too embroiled, I think, in conspiracies and grand doings and for all the confidence you see he had in me, I don't know if I don't know if I ignored it. I don't know if I just missed it. Suppose it doesn't matter, but I always felt when I was growing up that it was his light was too bright for me to make much difference if I tried to stay too close. I thought that it was wiser for me to try and forge my own path, try and find my own strengths. I didn't think I'd be nearly as good as Ave at the things he was best at, so I thought I'd find the things I could be best at. And I thought I'd done a pretty good job. I'm not sure if there was anything that he could have done, really, to really make me ready for the mountain and what all came after. Can you tell if we did the ritual right? Can you tell if are we off the mark at all?
The ritual. A complicated thing. I've done some reading on it. I was able to witness some of it. I was quite new at the time, so maybe not at my most observant, which I regret in some ways. So all I have are my accounts, which are flawed, and his, which are just theory. I think you did the best you could. I think you were dealt quite the hand, and you did your best. The crest was taken from you. But I don't know how much that would have changed in the exact outcome of the ritual. I think, to be transparent, that the crest is more for me, is that it is tied to me in some way. And something went wrong. And I think it happened on the mountain, as that is. It is a time I don't exactly remember in a fullness, the mountain. It was after Dagwood's portion of the ritual that I became more aware, coming into my own. But something went wrong that was not in your control. I was not meant to be many pieces. I think I was just meant to be one. And I'm not sure what would happen if I, at that time, had been given such power, such strength. I don't know how that would have changed the ritual at all. But in my eyes, you have done nothing wrong. You don't have to say you don't agree. This is my opinion on it.
Well, it means a great deal. I'm not sure I believe it myself, but it means very much to me that that's how you feel. I just... Do you think that Sindri's work is really for the greater good? Given what you recall of Ave's research and thoughts and feelings, and given what you've learned with us, alongside us, what do you think?
I have Ave's notions of Sindri. There was Sindri was a topic of focus across a span of books. And they veered from praise to disdain. And the shift, if I were reading it like a story, it seems strange to me. There are some shifts in a lot of the books that seem strange to me from Ave's perspective. And I worry that there are times when he may have been unwell, maybe paranoid. These moments where he is using quite powerful magics that could be draining on the body and the mind. This is fully speculation as I just try to fill in blanks where I see them. Ave saw Sindri as a brilliant mind, a threat, and a means to an end. He was impressed with the work he was doing, but I think saw too much of himself in him, perhaps. A worry of someone with that amount of power, what they would do, what he might do. He knew that Sindri could kill him. I'm not sure if there is any specific more reasoning to it than he knew he would and would not hesitate. What do I see? As someone with these preconceived notions ingrained into me, but the experiences of the world. Sindri is a flawed man, as we all are. He is admitted to being corrupted by the spear. I think that is apparent by his behavior as you described on the mountain. If this is truthful, and I can see such a relic doing such. He was also wielding it at the party. It seems he has not held it since, at least that we have seen. It seems to have taken a place on the mantle. And he seems sound of mind. Much more so than I think at other experiences you've had. The lamps, from what I have seen, have done no harm. Their intent is good. I have no insight onto his future plans. I know not what he wants. All I know from what I have seen is that I think the intent is good.
Then then do you think that there's some way perhaps that we can either salvage or make better use of the foundation provided by Ave's ritual, and, I don't know, find some way to perhaps cooperate, perhaps, collaborate, make some unifying system across the continent that perhaps could absorb as much corruption as it can, repel what it can't. Do you think that would be possible? Maybe.
Sorry, I got distracted by I think our shit's fucked up.
What?
Is
Is
it
our
good?
shit fucked up?
Because I'm just looking at a little freeze frame. But if it's working
Uh-oh.
for other people, I will accept that
mean,
answer.
Working fine over here.
Oh,
I see and hear the stream functioning on my side.
I love that for y'all. I don't know why just Greg and I are broken. We're not even in the same place.
I don't understand that either, but Greg is in a hotel, so
But
that
I'm in my home.
true,
and
and you
it's-
have one less person doing on internet than usual, so
Yeah, you
It's
guys
magic.
are watching it like move and stuff and like make
Weird.
words. That's cool.
Mhm. Wild.
Anyways, you asked
Yeah.
the keeper if you think there is a way by sharing information to make the lamps better.
Perhaps. Like, Nana's trying to think of a way maybe to springboard this into a way to save an east-west conflict from erupting. Is this a suggestion maybe she can field with the party to maybe ultimately then kick towards, like, Valder or whoever?
I'm not sure I can give you an answer on that.
Hmm.
I have heard that Sindri is interested in spreading outwards his plans with the lamps,
Mm-hmm.
which we have seen work. I don't know. I'm not sure. It is strange, isn't it? Skull City does not seem like a part of the East. It seems like a separate entity. And I am not sure if Skull City or Sindri, I know not, we have not asked, is interested in sticking out their neck so far. But either, if we are interested in this, we must learn more about what he is doing, or he must learn of what we have done. And I am truly not sure if that is the best choice or the worst.
I certainly wouldn't call that the first choice. I would option. Not by a long shot. I can accept that I've misplaced a great deal of my emotions in regards to Sindri. But I do not believe that that's any cause to begin trusting him blindly, either.
I will be honest. I am sure he trusts you as much as you trust him.
Well, that's a comfort.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Um,
I'm not going to disappear. I plan to at least be here for the foreseeable future. You have time to think if you need it.
I think I'll probably have a good few more questions as time goes on. I just wanted to know, well, it's silly. Did he really like his last birthday present that I got him? It was kind of towards the end, and I think he was a bit distracted. I think he was a bit tired. Maybe I was reading too much into it. Maybe I was in a tiff, but
Now, let's see. What was this gift?
I'd whittled him something. It was just a little figurine. I'd been aiming for a bear and whittled a bit too much, so it was, I think, a bit more like a squirrel, if I'm honest. Wasn't very good.
I see. And I can see a memory of sitting at a desk toiling away. But on quite the prominent and visible spot atop a shelf, I can see this once bear turned squirrel sitting in a spot. But when I look away from my papers, I can see it quite clearly. Quite the place of regard.
That answers my question. Thank you.
Of course.
I'll be glad to speak with you at another time, but I wouldn't want to keep you.
Well, I feel as if there's always somewhere I need to be, but I haven't figured out what it is yet, so I'm truly on no timeline, I suppose.
Well, I'll be certain to ask Roshan for another chat when I've got a few more questions.
Of course.
Thank you again.
There's a bit of a nod you can feel. And eventually that energy sort of starts to fade. It doesn't leave, but it sort of just disperses through the space. Ever present, but now no longer so pinpointed.
Mm.
And as the roar of the water slowly begins to fade back to a much more manageable level, that is where we're going to stop for today. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. I sure hope everything worked. And if not, I'll record myself talking about it. As I've done once before, I'll do it again. I'll do my own recap, and it'll
Hell
be
yeah.
great.
Yeah!
But if you want to keep up with us, we are at Backs of Gods on Instagram. If you want to keep up with all of us, we are at the Dice Cult on Instagram, Blue Sky, and Facebook. Did I do socials today? No. Nobody can make me do anything. I have a cold.
Yeah!
I have a little
Phooey.
cold, and I'm not going to do anything.
You can't be cool.
If you'd like to watch more, like, hey, what going on? What happened? You're just going to have
Ooh.
to hold those for a long time.
Yeah.
You keep holding. You guys can't derail me anymore.
No.
If you
You
want to
t-
see more of us and all of the shows we are presenting to you for your
Mhm.
enjoyment, you can head over to youtube.com/the Dice Cult, where you can watch past episodes of On the Backs of Gods. You can also watch past episodes of Gossamer Vale, which
Ooh.
is our other D&D campaign, Celtic
Uh-huh.
mythology, run by Katie,
It's great.
which goes up by Thursday, so every other
Mhm.
Thursday. Sorry, there's so many cat fights happening. It's
Oh no.
so many fights happening. There's so much happening right now.
Ah,
Gossamer Vale
yeah.
on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Every other Thursday, but like this
and
Thursday
this
is one of those.
But this Thursday. So you
Yeah.
can join us as we are on our quest to honestly just kill bandits. That's the vibe. And happy
Yeah.
to be here.
That's all
Maybe
we're
one
here
of
to
them
do.
will decide they don't want to be a bandit anymore and want to start working at a soup kitchen, and we'll think about not killing them. So if you want
Yeah.
to join us on Thursday for Gossamer Vale, we'd love to see you there.
Mhm.
If you want beautiful dice
Katie
and
makes
dice
'em.
that done what tell story, you
Yep,
can
yep.
go to the chat or the box below and get some beautiful dice. Get some customs. Tell a story with
very
your own
pretty.
specific like vibe to it. Follow your heart.
Yeah. Like these.
Yeah.
They
Hey,
pretty.
I'm fading so fast. It's
Yep.
it's really the second I drop DM character, my brain just goes straight into decline.
Yep.
Well,
Mood.
thanks for being here.
Yep.
We appreciate it. We love telling you a story. We'll be here same time, same place, Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll see you guys next time. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for joining us, cultists.